Bienvenidos al episodio 4 de Great People Podcast.
Welcome to the Great People Podcast, where topics that people expect to be black and white are discussed by going into the gray areas. And now, your trio of hosts, Sebastian Zuniga, Reina Rivera, and Randy Felice.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Hope everybody's had a great week. This morning we want to speak about movies. So we're going to talk about movies that you like. What do you expect? Do you like trailers? Do you not like trailers? Sometimes I feel like a trailer gives everything away. But sometimes I really do like a trailer. So we just want to speak overall because I've seen a couple good movies. People might not know, but Randy loves movies. And so does Reina. Maybe
not as much as Randy.
Okay. So guys, movies-wise, anything good you've seen lately?
There's a lot of good movies out there right now, but
Let's just pinpoint it to maybe one or two good movies that you've seen lately.
The Greatest Showman.
that was good. Den of Thieves.
That was alright.
Den of Thieves, that's my movie.
Alright.
That's one of my all-time favorite top 10 already.
That was good.
How was that even possible?
50 was in it. O'Shea Jackson Jr. Oh, there's this gentleman
50
named
barely said like
Gerard
5
Butler.
words in that movie.
No, but
But did you see the presence he brought to it?
Oh my god.
think about, Heat. You think about big heist movies and big like criminal.
This is gonna
cops
be one.
movie. This is up there. I think.
10, 15, 20 years from now, we're going to be like, that was a classic.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, yo, my son, my daughter, Den of Thieves. Let me show you what a good movie's about.
I'll wait for it to go to the $5 bin before I buy it.
And not
By
really,
by then, you could just stream it somewhere for free.
for real.
Okay,
No, but Den of Thieves was good. I think.
so let me ask you guys, what type of movies do you like?
Well, for me, I think it's comedy. Anything with comedy, but then action. Well, I like any movie. I like a lot of movies, but anything
Put your number
but
one. Put your
horror.
number one type of movie. What's the type of movie you do like, and the type of movie you do not like?
So scary movies don't count me in. I think they're so predictable. They're so like, oh my god, I guess it's gonna die next. But then, anything comedy is like top. I can always watch a comedy, but then action, suspense, all of those will make it to my top. So
What about you, Reina? Favorite type of movies and the least favorite?
My favorite is between scary movies and comedies. I think I like scary movies a lot better though.
Okay, so that's yours.
And what I hate is just anything sci-fi. Star Wars. Dang, I'm gonna get shot. Star Wars, Star Trek, anything like that I don't like.
Me?
Oh, and also like
Go ahead.
Harry Potters and all those.
You don't like him, or you do like him?
No, I don't
Oh,
like
that's funny. A lot of people love him. I'm not a huge fan, but it's great.
Twilight is my
It's
shit.
great work.
Just kidding.
I love anything that's like that action drama. So yeah, anything that's like Heat, Training Day. Right now, that's why I like Den of Thieves, and I definitely do not count me in for no scary movies. Not because it's predictable, because that shit is scary.
You thought
I don't
Gone
like
Girl
it.
was scary. That wasn't even scary.
It was creepy. Gone
Gone
Girl.
Girl is creepy. Which one's the other one? There's one with Hugh Jackman where they steal his daughter. Is it Neighbors or something like that? I forgot. No, it's not that. Like they steal his daughter. It ends up being like she's like down the street in somebody's basement.
Oh yeah, it's shit. I don't think I watched it, but I know which one.
That shit
you're
is
talking
scary
about.
because that could really happen.
Well, and talk about that, right? So, how much of movies like do we actually see happening? I know people talk about, especially action movies and things like that, like, oh, that shit will never happen. There's no way you're gonna like jump a 4-story like building and land in a freaking pile of, mattresses and you'll be all right. I don't know, like, there's all this stuff
That's
that
the
happens in
Hollywood
movies.
effect.
Exactly, but then people, like, I guess the thought is, what do you think about? So what do you think about people that have expectations in movies that they think is going to happen in real life, or that go watch movies?
What, Love at First Sight?
Well, that's one, but then in the opposite side of that, I think it's kind of annoying when somebody's like, that would never happen. I'm like, of course not. It's a Hollywood movie. That would never happen. But I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys ever look at something and you're like, that's a turn off. That would never happen.
I think if it's too unrealistic, maybe sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I like it. But honestly, I personally, and I feel a lot of people do, but I personally go to movies just to get away. So you kind of like live it. So whatever's on screen, I'm like, man, that's crazy. You kind of fantasize about it. I'm not really thinking so much like man, can that really happen? Can it not? If it's completely out of like my mind, I'm like, I don't know if that can happen. But it doesn't kill it for me, just because. Then again, the movies that I watch, since they're like action dramas, not so much sci-fi, then I can kind of believe those things can happen. But
And that's why I don't watch the sci-fi one.
Well, that's the thing. I think sci-fi. You look at it.
you already
Do
probably
you
know
already
that's like,
expect it?
you probably already know, hey, this isn't real. This is not going to happen.
Well, let's talk about. Reina talked about a little bit about love, I guess, and the love at first sight. Is that? I mean, maybe as guys, I think a lot of the stuff we see in movies, we're like, oh, that's super cheesy. There's no way I'm doing all that. But then, do women look at it and think like that's actually doable? Like, why doesn't my man do that? Or
That's true. That's a good question. Like when you see some romance on TV, on a movie, people are like, oh, wow, like, that's what I want.
You would want something like
but you
that,
know that's not realistic.
Yeah.
Raina, you didn't have.
I feel like, okay, maybe before I was hoping that some of the things, like some of the nicer things that the guys did in the movies, like maybe I would find someone to do something similar for me. But after a while, you just realize, I'm like, okay, this
paying
is
the
just
mortgage
a movie.
isn't nice. Imagine. Raina, man, that's gonna be a conversation for another day. Love at first sight.
But all these movies, is it really love at first sight or lust at first sight? Though?
Well, there's a lot of movies that is love at first sight. What's that movie, The Notebook?
yeah, I mean, they're like
That was like
bound
love from the
together for
beginning.
Titanic.
I mean,
They died
I
together.
would love
Well,
Ryan Gosling at first sight too.
Jack died in Titanic for his love, even though I
Right away.
think she should have let him get up on that door. Like
And
there
because
was,
of that movie is why I would never get on a boat
and
or a
this,
ship or anywhere near water.
because of that movie is where we lost a lot of trust in
And
women.
that'd be so
'cause
scary. Being on a ship.
I think it was clear that he could have fit, or they could have take turns. She goes in the water for a little bit, he goes in the water a little bit. That bitch didn't even move. And then she was like, I'll never let go, Jack. And that was the first thing she did. She actually pushed him to the bottom of the ocean. She was like,
She did not push him.
Would you guys be able to say, off the top of your head, 3 of your favorite actors, actresses, maybe any combination of it? You guys
Will
know that
Smith.
many? No particular order. If you just gave me 3 that you really,
Ryan Reynolds
that's good.
and dang, I don't know a third one.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think those two are good.
I think for me, I got Will Smith is up there. Denzel Washington is like a beast. Nobody can touch him. And then a third one.
We should throw a girl in there, Selma Hayek.
Salma
Is that how you
Hayek's
say her
not.
name?
Yeah, Salma Hayek is not like.
What movie do you like from her, Raina?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Natalie Portman
We'll
will
get
go
back
up
to
there
you.
for acting. I think as an actress, Natalie Portman, like the role she does, like Black Swan was just like, damn.
I would say Denzel. That's my guy, Denzel Washington. I'm a big old school movie type of Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. Those are my guys.
Oh yeah, those
I
are
love
good
those.
ones.
And it's tough. Will Smith would probably be like in my top 5. I just really like Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and I love Denzel Washington. Anything Denzel does, I could sit down. You know what? If I had to expand it to a top 5, this is me. It would literally be Denzel, in no particular order, it would be Denzel, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Will Smith, and Mark Wahlberg. I love Mark Wahlberg.
I forgot about him.
I love
All right,
Mark
that's
Wahlberg.
my top 3 too. Will Smith,
I love
Ryan
Mark
Reynolds,
Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
He's freaking.
He's
I mean,
good.
he's good.
He's
the
funny.
comedy.
He can drama. He can do it all. The guy's great. So
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Like when he did what was that one? The workout movie, Pain and Gain. Damn. Like,
with The Rock, he'll be my top 6.
The Rock is also crazy. No, the Rock is good.
And
All
Kevin
right.
Hart for 7th comedy. No, just kidding.
Damn.
I could do a top 10 list if I needed to. What do you guys think about trailers, movie trailers? Like I'm saying, me personally, I actually enjoy them. Sometimes the movie trailer I see, I'm like, man, I feel like I gave away too much.
Yeah.
But I still go see the movie. But sometimes I'm like, man, did it give away too much? And then I get there, and sometimes it did, but a lot of times it didn't. A lot of times like, no, I
I'm
didn't.
always forced by someone in this room to watch trailers, but I prefer not to.
I do like the art behind it. I do think that's really like how people make trailers to get you engaged to go see a movie. I think that's incredible because you put up a trailer for a minute, 2 minutes, and all of a sudden you're like, damn, I gotta go check that out.
And I think it's we don't really think about it too much, but there's a whole industry. There's a group of professionals that's all they do. They get the movies and they do trailers,
See, that's crazy.
and they make him enticing. They make him freaking. Maybe they give you a little too much. Maybe they give you a little too little, and it's it's like that middle line, I guess. But here's the thing. I do think there's a lot of times that they give up pretty much everything. Like you go watch a movie and you're like, damn, I saw that in the trailer. Of course, he's gonna die. he's gonna live, and then it just kind of
That's true.
I think I only watch trailers for like Marvel movies.
I watch a lot of trailers just because I think it's the way that we all movie critics when we see a trailer, we're like, yeah, it's gonna be good, or we're not gonna be good. I remember Dane Cook had a thing about that in his comedy special where he's like, at the moment you see a trailer at the theater, we all become critics. We're like, that's good. No, that's not gonna gonna suck.
That's so true.
But it's interesting. I think.
Okay, now that we're at the now that we're talking about movies, it actually made me think. Let's expand a little bit on movie theater etiquette, because that shit is always funny. Are you the type of people that you will take a text message, you'll turn it off, you won't ever pick up to anybody in the movie theater? Have you ever had to tell anybody to be quiet? Has anybody told you to be quiet?
I told Sebastian to be quiet all the time.
I've been told to be quiet by other people.
I've never been told to be quiet.
I'm sure
Si yo estoy hasta allá atrás, hasta arriba, ahí you're like, I'll check my text messages.
That's true. That's why I like the last row too, because you can open up your phone, a little light comes on.
I always have to sit on the corner. That's my only thing.
I love the corner too.
Yeah, well, I used to like a lot. I don't know if you guys know that row that has like the little bar by the handicap seat. Like I like that row right behind, so I can put my feet up on the
so you put your feet up
bar.
on the handicap bar.
But then
I don't think I would answer any text messages or calls. I put my phone in my purse because I really want to enjoy the movie. I don't want to get interrupted. But Randy over here is always looking at his phone.
It's just his business. There's a lot of
Rotten Tomatoes. He's putting up.
I'm checking the reviews that's happening.
How does it work? Man, movies actually made me think about a lot of things. It made me think, okay, and we might be veering off a little bit, but it's a good convo. I'm thinking, okay, you go to the movies with somebody. When do you invite somebody to go to the movies? Like, let's say, as a friend, you could always. That's cool. I'm talking about like some girl you met, your girl, you already, official. Like, how's that work?
See, for me, I love movies so much, and I think it's a good way for us to kind of bond and get,
But you don't. But you don't talk in the movie.
You barely look at each other.
But there's the physical attraction that comes from it, and the physical like bonding. I guess you get all cuddled up.
You don't even like to watch scary movies, so where are you gonna bond? Like
you
gonna hug somebody in a comedy?
I hug. He's gonna hug in a comedy.
No, I don't know. I think movies are okay as a first date. I mean, if you try
as a first date, no. I don't know. I'll say no, but if that's your style, that's great. Okay, because if you meet somebody, Raina, let's say in some other world you met somebody, and they're like, hey, let's go hang out, let's go watch a movie. You're like,
on the first date.
Because you're like, what you want to do? Make out with me in the movie?
Like, that's weird.
A lot happens at the movie
theater, and I don't want somebody
guys.
talking next to me when I'm trying to watch the movie, because when I want to watch a movie, that's what I want to do. I don't want to hear you in my ear trying to tell me something. Like, leave me alone.
The movie's just part. I mean, I don't think if you take someone to the movie and then take them back home, that doesn't work. But I mean, if the movie's just part of the day, like, I don't know, maybe you were at the park walking around. So this date
is like 5-6 hours.
Shit, I don't know. It happens.
That's dope. No, that's
it happens that way. Hey, I'm gonna go pick you up on Saturday at 3. We're gonna go have something to eat. We're gonna stop, watch a movie. After the movie, we're gonna go look at the stars up in the whatever. I don't know.
I like it.
Shit.
He's like, I'll drop you off Sunday morning.
You give me an activity. You have to follow everything by the T.
No, but I think there could be that element of surprise. Like, we just say, hey, I got something else planned for us. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, let's go here. I don't know. I think
then technically, you're not taking somebody to the movies for a date.
It is.
That's just part of the extravaganza.
I guess, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think as part of the date, as part of like the first interaction, there could be a movie included in there, and I don't think it's a bad thing. Now, if you just go pick somebody up and like watch a movie and drop them off, then you didn't probably accomplish anything that day, other than showing them that you really like movies.
So we went from our movies that we like to etiquette at a movie to dating while going to the movies. It's all really good stuff. I always thought, man, there's just so much to talk about movies because it makes me think about so many things. So obviously the movie itself, going to the movies, but it makes me think of the overall how movies started. Because obviously you go to a movie now, where we are currently, a movie's about $10. If you're back east, the movie could be like $13-15, whatever it is. It's crazy to think a movie one day, was a quarter, or you walk into a theater. And now they got all these great, type of things where you could get like a movie pass or monthly subscription.
Yes, guys, get the movie pass.
And we're not sponsored.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by them. Thanks, Raina.
But we like movie pass. It's pretty good.
But it actually made me think about something you told me the other day. How that whole movie pass works probably on the back end, where you go to movie theaters and a lot of times the room is empty.
Yeah, and that's how they can afford it. I mean, they put this subscription out there. Essentially, they're saying, hey, we have these empty seats anyways. Come and get the seat for free, but you're probably going to spend money in concessions.
And that's
Somehow
where they
you're
make
gonna,
some money, and that's how they'll make the money back.
that's
But
where they have the biggest markup, like 2,000% markup.
yeah, that's
so
the logistics of it, the business side, which is pretty cool. But okay, well, let's wrap this. Let's kind of wrap this up, I guess, because you could talk forever about movies, honestly. But let's go ahead and give people a recommendation. If you had to give somebody a recommendation, not to a movie that's out right now, but a movie that you really enjoyed, kind of say why. So one movie that you tell people, man, go see this movie. I think you'll like it. Watch it at home, rent it, whatever. Get it on a Redbox. What would it be, Randy?
I think
One movie. If you just had to pick one
just
movie
one?
right now, go check it out. Don't give me
man.
a genre. Don't give me, but just one movie you enjoy. It doesn't have to be your favorite movie.
One is tough.
Just one movie. Like, man, if you haven't watched this, go watch it. This is why.
Shit.
Don't take mine.
Can it be old or does it have to be
Whatever.
new?
That's what I'm saying.
Whatever.
It's not in theaters. It's whatever. It could be in theaters. It could not. I'm gonna go with a movie that's old. So go ahead.
All right. For me, I think Stranger Than Fiction is a movie that I kind of always comes to mind when it comes to like check it out. It'll probably surprise you.
Can you give some of the actors who's in it?
So Will Smith.
Okay.
Will Ferrell, not Will Smith. So Will Ferrell, he's known for his comedy and kind of he's one of those actors that either you love him or you fucking hate him. There's no in between with Will Ferrell, I think. But then in this movie, he's doing a serious role, so it's more of a not suspense. That's the wrong word. Like, I don't know. It's one of those movies where it's like drama / trying to figure out what's going on. So he plays a serious role, but it's really great to see. I think he did a fantastic job playing a serious guy with a little bit of comedy because that's part of what he does. But I think it was really surprising to see him on that role, and I think he killed it. So
Okay, cool.
what about
You,
you?
Raina.
Okay.
One movie that you have to tell people that you say, hey, you know what? It's a movie you got to watch. You got a chance. You got a Friday night. You got a day during the week, maybe a Sunday afternoon, whatever it is. Watch this movie. You'll have a good time.
Well, I'm going to say The Greatest Showman because it's already fresh on my mind and I recently saw it and I want to watch it a few more times already. It has... What are you doing, Sebastian?
Oh, go ahead.
Hey!
Explain.
Hater over here. So, it has Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, Zendaya, and some other people.
Nice.
And it's so good from beginning to end. It will just have you hooked from the very moment that it starts. It has a great message about just keep being persistent with your dreams. I don't know. I just felt like it inspired me in many ways.
Nice.
It's good.
Let's see.
Musicals are tricky for people, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. By the way, it's a musical.
But
Oh, yeah.
musicals, they're cool.
But they're
yeah,
good songs.
they're a
They're
little
catchy.
different.
I didn't
I-
like musicals before. Now I love musicals. So
This
I
is
think
the greatest show.
okay.
That's not bad.
Let's not put Reina in the
Obviously,
musical.
this isn't The Voice.
Man, nobody would have turned their chairs for me.
I turned my chair away. Let's see. Movie that I'm telling people, yo, you got to go check it out. One that obviously I always enjoy no matter what. It is Heat. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. Just a classic action drama film. Came out in 95. I was just a little boy. But seen it so many times since then. It just has two of the best actors you could probably find. Really like taking on their role. So much to take away from it. I don't know how much I took away. I guess I learned how to maybe potentially rob something, but no, not even that.
Walk away from something
But,
in 30 seconds or less.
But so many classic lines, so good acting. I actually saw they had a reunion of it. They had like a 20-year reunion since then. I saw this interview. It was really cool how they brought the actors back in. They spoke to them, how they all got into the roles, and it's just a good movie. So if you have a moment, you like a drama film. Actually, if you got about 2.5 hours, maybe 3, check it out. It's a pretty good movie.
3
So,
hours?
So yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
day.
It's good. It's gangster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
though.
take
it's a
some
gangster
breaks and
movie.
stuff in between that movie.
It's not bad. All right, cool.
But there's
Moving
other
on.
movies that are pretty long too, and they can be great. The Godfather, all those are freaking long.
Yeah, those. I was really wanting to say The Godfather, but you'd have to see 1, 2, and 3 to get the whole. Well, to enjoy it, I guess, like the way I did. But there you'd need a couple days. So
But yeah, for real, Heat was fire.
you
No
just
pun
can't.
intended.
Wow.
Val Kilmer, like you got so many people.
What's your favorite line?
I can't quote it, obviously. Like I can't do it as well, but I always think about when Arias Spears does it. And Arias Spears, the comedian, he obviously talks about it in one of his stand-ups when he says, great actors like Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino's the policeman, Robert De Niro's the bad guy in the movie, and they're just talking about how they meet face to face in a coffee shop, and cop, good guy, and then bad guy, I guess. They just sit in front of each other and just kind of start talking, and one saying, "Hey, I'm gonna, I'll take you down if I have to." The other one's like, "Hey, I like people like you, keep me sharp, but I'll take you down if I have to." I don't even want to mess around and do the line. It's just there's so many classic lines in that movie.
I think just a few things in that movie were crazy. That when they sat down, they talked to each other. They're like, "My job is to take you down," and then the other guy is like, "My job is not to get taken down, and I'll take you down if I have to take you down." And it's just like, but they're friendly at a coffee shop having a drink, and it's
based on a real story. The movie's actually played in Los Angeles, but this actually was something that happened in the '70s in Chicago. Yeah. So there was really a police officer. There was really this bad guy that would rob banks, and they got that opportunity when they actually met with each other and they spoke in a coffee shop, and they spoke about what their roles was. Police officer said, "I like a guy like you. You're sharp. You keep me sharp, but I'm gonna take you down if I have to." Bad guy says, "Hey, I like cops like you. You guys keep me sharp,
but then
I'll take you down."
There's that line where he's like, "One thing I've learned as a criminal," or something along those lines of like, I gotta be able to walk away from a situation in 30 seconds or less, and you see that play out where he's like,
that's a good one.
Either get caught or he's gotta walk away.
Yeah, he's basically explaining how a wise man once told me, "Don't get attached to anything that you can't walk away in 30 seconds flat when you feel the heat coming around the corner."
Yeah, that's
what he says.
Yeah, so that was fire.
That was good.
But anyways, so
let's move on from that.
Yeah, enough about movies. Maybe we'll come back to it because there's a lot to talk about.
There's just so much. It'd be cool if people could comment and put down maybe their favorite movies or what kind of movies they like, and we can maybe have a little bit of fun with that when Sean's back in here. Just talk to him about some movie crap.
Yeah, or if you guys have questions about any particular thing to do with movies, we can always talk a little bit more on that on the next episodes, or I don't know, whatever the case is. Leave it down in the comments. Make sure you let us know what you think. Let us know what your favorite movies are. Let us know what type of movies maybe we should check out so we can talk about in the future. Maybe there is a message for us to talk about in later episodes.
Like we said, there's just so much to speak about movies. We love movies here in the Great People Podcast. Actually, there used to be a time with Randy and I used to go to the movies all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of times. But there is also times where we would, I remember a couple years back in December, we watched a movie every single night for 2 weeks.
That was
that was pretty fun. And we have a lot of people come and join us. Actually, and what's funny, we haven't really talked about it, Randy here on the show actually went to school for film. So not only are we movie lovers that we would like to go watch it, but we actually have the technical side of things here. Randy, tell us a little bit about that.
So
what made you want to do that?
I don't know. I just always liked editing things. I think that's where it kind of started. But, so I do watch movies sometimes from a different point of view. I do notice a lot of the continuity errors, which we can talk about later what that means. I notice things when it comes to the editing of it and the production of it, the editing of it. So I guess if you guys have any questions on that or any kind of movie maybe you want us to watch for any of those particular reasons, or maybe you want to see our take when it comes to how was it edited, did you like, how they did the script, any of those things, we're happy to talk about it. But
word to the wise, if you watch a movie with Randy, do not talk. You might get smacked.
Yes.
During the movie. Don't talk.
Even look at your phone.
Breathe. Hold your breath if you can. Bring an oxygen tank. Just don't do anything that might get him upset, because he does see sometimes movies. It's crazy how he sees it from a different perspective than just how you would watch it or I would watch it. How it's just oh wow, that's cool on the screen.
To be honest,
he's watching the how the cameras were working and what the actors are doing and just a whole bunch of crazy stuff.
To be honest, and I've done it a few times, I'll pause the movie. I'll stop it.
He'll pause the movie. He's just like when you're in school and your teacher's I'll wait till your guys' conversations then. He will pause the movie. Yeah, go ahead. You guys just say what you guys got to say and I'll play this movie once you guys are done.
So... yeah, but anyways, let us know if there's any movies down below in the comment you want us to check out.
Yeah, some cool movies that we might even want to check out ourselves.
Maybe we get something out of it. Maybe we can make a next episode about the message in the movie. There's a lot of things we can talk about that. But anyways, leave it down below.
All right, move forward then.
So for the next part of the Great People Podcast, we're going to do what we call the 3, 2, 1, which is where each of us talk about one thing that we felt was impactful or something that stood out through the week or something that took us off guard, or I don't know, whatever the case is. So what's one thing
first?
Yeah, what's one thing, Reina, that happened recently that.
So yesterday I was watching the Breakfast Club, and was it yesterday? I don't know if the episode was from yesterday, but it was pretty much a conversation about the struggles within the Latin community as far as like Afro Latinos. I'm not the most educated on this topic, but I just felt like it was very interesting because the difference in the Latin community between lighter skinned Latinos and then darker skinned Latinos.
Yeah,
and
it's a problem.
and it's crazy because I'm sure no one really, I guess, focuses on that given the fact that there's just overall problems between white and black, but within the same Latin community, there's still those struggles, and it's just so interesting when Amara La Negra was talking about it. And
I like her a lot.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
But here's the thing, and people don't see this, pero like, yo soy dominicano, right? So you have, ahí están lo que son como blanquito, and están los morenitos, and it's just kind of, it's different. And everybody that we see in movies and all that, it happens to be, for whatever reason, the lighter skin.
In la novela.
In las novelas, you see like the most clear looking Colombians or the most clear, like, white skin looking Dominican.
I just find that to be a really good topic, very interesting, because, like you said, if someone thinks Dominican, they're going to think, okay, darker skin. People think Colombian, oh, lighter skin. Craziest thing in the world, or craziest thing that I can think about, is actually there's a lot of Afro-Colombians. Like, out of 50 million, there's over, like, 12 million, maybe 15. By percentage, it's low, but quantity is high. So, if you go to Colombia and you're anywhere in the coast, like in the Caribbean or off to the West Coast, there's tons of people that are darker, black people. Same thing, countries like Venezuela, Ecuador, Peru. Like, there's so many people that being Latin breaks down in so many different ways because, you still have your race. You could be white. There's Latins that are Asian. There's, black. So, but it is interesting how the relationships can be. Me, not so much like that, but I have seen a lot that it's a little bit different.
And it's crazy to see it because, for example, for me, I'm darker skinned, and I can tell you, people get surprised when I speak Spanish.
I never seen your color.
I don't see color.
I don't see color.
Damn.
No, but it's one of those things. Like, I've been at places, Hispanic places.
No,
like,
they get shocked. Yeah, at
a Mexican supermarket, and when I speak Spanish to the people there, they're like, "Oh my God, you speak Spanish." And I don't think people see me and they think,
Hispanic,
"Oh, he must be Dominican, or he must be Colombian."
Not here, obviously.
Yeah, not here.
Where we're located, if you're further in the states, out west, say we were back east in New York, Jersey. If you're down by Florida, obviously that's more common. Here, no, same thing. Like, I get it a lot of times where I'm places, and if I have my beanie and my beards going on, I like to grow it out. I actually get a lot of people that don't think I'm Hispanic, that either think that I'm Middle Eastern. I get that a lot, Middle Eastern, or a lot of people think that I'm out here on my Drake, mulatto, half white, half black. I get a lot of that all the time where I start speaking Spanish and they look at me, and I've actually had a lady think that I was like Persian or from Afghanistan or something along those lines. So I was like,
Well, that's the thing, and it's crazy. But, I'm sure people see that or don't probably see that necessarily because, most people that become famous or whatnot, you have a lot coming out of LA, which is West Coast. So you may not see a lot of dark-skinned Dominicans in LA or this side of the world.
True.
I'm just happy that she brought up the conversation because it's definitely something that needs to be talked about, especially when she was touching upon just, different skin colors and the privileges that people have being lighter.
Of course.
Being able to obviously get more roles and just more job opportunities versus other people that are darker.
Well, what's sad about that, and obviously we could just open up a whole new conversation. This was really just a 3, 2, 1, which is interesting, but it happens. Sometimes topics get so good you gotta expand on them, but it's true. Being right now that we're in a situation where we could think worldwide, there's could be racism, this and that. There's whites versus black. What's unfortunate is even in groups itself. So your own countries that you might have came from. If you're here in the States or wherever you might be, there might be that not only social, but your race. So like, I'm a lighter skinned Mexican and you're a darker skinned Mexican, or I'm a lighter skinned Dominican, you're darker skinned Dominican, or you're the darkest. So it's like, things that obviously do have to improve. So
it's just pretty interesting. The one thing for me was,
what are you taking away?
That was impactful or takeaway. So I was reading this article about kids chewing up Tide Pods.
Oh my God!
What? Oh, I saw a video of that. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it goes back to a lot of what we were talking about with the stuff that's going on online. I think it starts with trolls. It starts with these guys that just fake it or whatever and make it look like the new cool thing to do. And I think kids these days, without offending anybody, they're so dumb that they think like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna try it myself. I'm gonna do it myself. And I don't know if naive, I guess. It just I don't know where like logically that makes sense. I'm like, oh yeah, let me try this detergent and see how that tastes. So I mean, but it's crazy. I was reading there's a lot of people like being really harmed by this. Even
I think 2 people died.
I think like 2 people died and things like that. So it's just crazy how like something online gets posted and it just blows up to be this new craze, I guess. And it was just really impactful. Now Tide is starting to put locks on their things starting in like I think they started in December. Like
They
their
did a
actual
commercial too that says "Don't eat these."
yeah, and you go to the supermarket, they have now instead of the little thing that you just pop open, they actually have like a child safe on the Tide Pods detergent, which is crazy to me that it's 2018
But yeah,
and we need this. And I don't know, it's just I never thought to drink Windex. I never thought to, and if some shit like that happened when I was a kid, I'm like, hey, you should try this detergent. I'm like, what the fuck? Hell no, and it's just crazy to see how the generations change to the point where this is what we have to worry about. Kids eating Tide Pods is just crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
it's ridiculous that people do that. But I saw a video of it and I was shocked that some kid grabbed it, popped it in his mouth, bit into it, started yelling. Yeah.
It's freaking crazy. What do you think?
Now we know why these kids don't wash their clothes. They're too busy eating the Tide Pods. But that's why.
That's crazy. Now, what do you take away from this week?
What do I take away from this week? Let's see. This week we're looking pretty much the last week of January.
Yeah,
that's what we're looking at now. Man, so many things. Honestly, I like to be random. So let's see. I'll give some more free promo. I always give out free promo, and never met the guy, but we actually got the opportunity to see him in concert a couple years back in July. Nicky Jam. So if people don't know who Nicky Jam is, go check him out. He's huge, obviously. I'm sure everybody knows. But I'm really excited about that Netflix series that's set to come out sometime this year. Reason being, obviously, like he's got a pretty good mix of what's here on the show today. So he's obviously Puerto Rican father, Dominican mother. As you guys know, Randy's Dominican, Raina's Puerto Rican. Lives in Colombia. I'm Colombian. He's got a good mix of everything. But really, his story just is so cool how, he ended up not getting support from his local people and he was trying to come back out again to do music. People thought, his career was over. And then he took off to a new land. Nobody knew him. Became the man, blew up from up there. And now, obviously, he's doing major things. But I just like his story of like kind of survival and always staying positive because I like to be as positive as possible. So if I take something away from this week is people keep fighting for whatever it is that you want to accomplish and don't take no as an answer. So just keep going.
Yeah, one thing that's crazy about that, and I'm pretty excited for the special too, but I was talking to someone at work about it and talking a little bit about his story, and people thought it was like, oh my God, that's so crazy. Like, I guess I knew that he was in Colombia, but they don't know the back end. So I think it's going to be really cool.
I think it'll be cool.
Like, documentary series is what it kind of turned out
honestly,
to
one
be,
thing,
so.
I'm taking this away too, but one of my favorite things that I get really excited about is anytime there's fusion. I feel like, obviously, with all the things that go on in this world, maybe not everybody always gets their due, but when I see a Latin artist start to do some fusion with an English artist, it always gets me excited. So having people like Nicky Jam trying to he speaks English too, but he'll do some music in English. J Balvin, you see it. Now you see Maluma with French Montana. Just a bunch of things that always excites me when I get to see like Bad Bunny. Last night he was on.
Well, he did that song with Tory Lanez.
He did that song with Tory Lanez, but he also his music video he had Ric Flair. If people don't know Ric Flair, 16-time world champion.
We have to do it all the same time. Dang.
Last night was. Go ahead. Last night was the. If you guys like wrestling, last night was Monday Night Raw's 25th anniversary.
Crazy.
And if you follow Bad Bunny, you see anything of Bad Bunny actually had photos with John Cena and Ric Flair, which is really cool. So things like that always hype me up because I feel like now people are getting their due. Like maybe you go into different places and like we were speaking earlier, they might not know, but people will now know a little bit more. Okay, I've heard about a Dominican. Okay, Dominican. Oh, and okay, a Colombian. Like it's just starting to kind of come up more that we're more than just one country in Latin America. That we're tons of countries, 10, 11, 12, 13 probably to be exact. But there's just so many.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
It's pretty impactful. That was good. That's good. Good stuff.
All right, guys, for the last segment, we have the People's Note, which is our version of the quote of the day. And today it is, when you bring peace to your past, you can move forward to your future.
Okay, I like it.
Makes sense. Bring peace to your past, people.
It's
Put
already in the
peace.
past. Somehow we'll put peace in it. Nah, I get what it means. It means
Move on.
obviously move on, be peaceful about whatever happened, in your heart. That way you can move forward. I like that a lot. That's
Yeah.
good.
It's a good quote. All right, so we want to give a few shout outs before we close off the show.
Definitely want to thank the people that been supporting us. So go ahead, Randy. What you got?
Yeah, so thanks a lot for the support, everybody that's been commenting, letting us know, sending us emails about what they like, what they don't like. But first shout out goes out to Eric. He's been supporting the show from the beginning. We appreciate all the feedback, positive and constructive. So seriously appreciate everything. Maybe we'll have him next time on the show as a guest.
Yeah, we're trying to get a couple guests. You can follow him at PeopleMC91. And he's actually somebody great to follow. He hosts parties. So he's pretty busy on the weekends, Friday, Saturday. He does local clubs here in Salt Lake in the area. He brings a lot of good energy, just liveliness to your party. So if you need anything from him, like I said, follow him at PeopleMC91. Somebody else that we want to get on the show that showed a lot of support, is giving us great feedback, is my barber. But more than that, my good friend ABD. You can find him at ABD_cuts on Instagram. He does a great job. So if you need, anything hooked up on that, get your cut. He cuts at Regal's Barbershop here in Salt Lake, so somebody to definitely keep in touch with.
Yeah. Another big shout out for another good friend of ours, my barber, Joseph Barber from Joseph Barbershop. So we really appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Another thing also, another great supporter that we want to shout out is our friend Rafa Rey. He goes on Instagram by Rafa, RAFA_REY, Rafa Rey. Rafael, our good friend. So shout out. We appreciate the support. Maybe we can work out around the schedules to try to get him in as a guest. We'll appreciate all the support and love we can get. So
also want to shout out our very, very good friend Caro.
Shout out to Caro.
Caro.
Thick girl with curl.
Thick girls with
curls?
Thick girls with curls. So thick girls, WIT curls _.
Yeah, she has a really good what are those called? Vlogs, right?
Vlog.
It's a blog.
Vlogs.
It's a vlog with a V.
Exactly.
It's body positivity, it's makeup, it's fashion, it's a bunch of good stuff.
Life advice.
It's good energy. Listen, I listen.
It's amazing.
I look at the vlog and I'm not even a thick girl, but it's
well,
good
that's
stuff.
just her Instagram.
Yeah.
Her actual YouTube channel, if I'm not mistaken, is probably just her first and last name.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think it's
But just follow her on Instagram. You'll go from there. We do want to give a huge birthday shout out to who, Reina?
Janet.
Yep, a really good friend of the show. Want to wish you many more birthdays. Thank you.
Cumpleaños, que cumplas muchos más.
Yeah, shout out.
Que no te lleve el viento.
Careful with the winds out there. That's an inside joke. But anyways, thanks for all the support, everybody. We really appreciate it. Make sure you leave us below in the comments things that you like, things that you don't like, maybe things we can improve on. Also, again, talking about movies, anything that you want us to check out, please subscribe if you haven't. Follow us on Instagram.
Please share. Future giveaways are coming, so
yeah,
the more support you give us,
we're gonna get on that. Like you said, this is the Great People Podcast.
Yeah.
So this is your People Podcast. We do need the feedback. Like we say, we're going as is, so we're learning basically on the go.
For real. So follow us on Instagram, Great People Podcast. Make sure you share our stuff if you haven't. So.
Red, you know what's one of my favorite lines that I actually think about every time I think about saying bye. I think about Daddy Yankee when he said, "El camino es duro, pero el duro no se quita del camino." Yeah. I always think about that.
That's us right now. But anyways, we appreciate it.
Cut.